he tratado. He dado mi ser sin arrepentimiento. Oh, no, nunca pensé que fuera en vano todos mis esfuerzos. No. Aprendiste a valorar todo lo que ofrecí. Me otorgaste la oportunidad de ser libre yo de ti. Resucitar lo que tú enterraste, respirar con inspiración. A mis alas fuiste el viento para despegar. Yo no te pido perdón por resistir tu engaño y encontrarme otra vez, por regresar a ser feliz como los días del ayer. Me perdí la minucia de tu amor. Yo no te...
Ornamas, ladies, are back on the New Mexico Radio Talk Show.com. I'm your host, DJ Hindog, of the Indian City, Roswell, New Mexico. We got our lovely ladies in the house. We got Irma Salvio Perez out here at El Paso. We got Delpha Rivas at Corpitos, Texas. A la máquina, man. We got already a few comments in the house, man. We got Alejandro C. Lopez, man. We got ACL Productions are in the house. Ladies, welcome back to the New Mexico Radio Talk Show.
Thank you, Henry. Happy to be here.
Hey, it's a long weekend, right? We got Susan Solis, we got Jennifer Lynn in the house, we got Roxanne Ruiz, Houston, Texas, we got Alex Grajeda is in the house. Man, we got a lot of people checking in already, man.
Hi, Irma. It's nice to see you again.
Is Irma froze over there? Are you froze?
A little bit.
Uh-oh. We also got, let's see, we got Hector Ruiz in the house, man. A la máquina.
I'm having
we got a lot of
technical
people, man.
issues
We
right
got a lot.
back.
Yeah, the aliens got a hold of your girlfriend. Well, what an exciting weekend it was, man, at the Texas Puerto Rico Words, man. That's where we just came from over the weekend, man. We want to welcome everybody out here to the New Mexico
Let
Radio
me
Talk
reboot and then I'm
Show.com is
coming
where
back
we're at
because I'm
tonight.
just having freezing.
Yeah. We got Teresa Stewart in the house, man. A la máquina. I want to welcome in our special guest, man. These guys are very talented, and I've had him on the show before, but it's awesome when you're able to get not just only the main guy on the show, but when you're able to get the band on the show. A la máquina. Look, we got our number one follower, number one listener. We got David Vela, says hello, Hen Dog, and everyone. David Vela, Oakland, is watching. A la máquina. Man, that's what I'm talking about. I just want to welcome in these guys, man. I want to welcome in Eddie Rodriguez and Los Volcanes, man. They're all the way from Washington, man. They're staying up late with us. A la máquina. I don't know how they're able to do it, right? Because I think it's only 8 o'clock my time, or yeah, 8 o'clock my time. See, I'm ready to get it lost here. See, that Texas time got me all messed up, man. We got Joanne Pena saying saludos a la máquina, man. We got a lot of people. Let me welcome in Eddie Rodriguez and Los Volcanes. What's going on? Eddie Rodriguez and Los Volcanes. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, Hen Dog? Saludos to everybody who's listening in. Pleasure to be on your show again. We are looking forward to the interview today. I've got our lead singer, Sarah Fonseca, with me, and our producer right here, the engineer that produces all our music here is my son, Sean Rodriguez, as well. And we're sitting in Seattle, Washington, in the studios of Los Volcanes. So here's where we make all our music. Here's where we produce. Everything is based out of here. All the creation is done here in this studio with Sean and the rest of the band. And then my good friend Rick Garcia, Hen Dog, you probably know Rick very well.
Yep.
It's our record producer. Everything is sent to him via floating on the airwaves or whatever you want to call it, the internet. And, everything is produced over the internet. But back in the day, you were asking me earlier about Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi is a very familiar town to us. That is where we got our beginnings on recording with the true and one and only Hacienda record label out of Corpus Christi. That's where we got our start. That's where we got signed by Mr. Garcia. Rick Garcia has been my producer for, well, you can tell it's probably 80s, so you can tell how long he's been my record producer.
Well, that's awesome, man. We got a few shout outs real quick, Eddie, before we get started, man. There's a lot of people checking in already, man.
Right
We got
on.
Javier Gonzalez and Los Delta Boys are checking in from the 956 area. They're checking in. We got them checking in. We also have we got DJ Sweet D from San Antonio in the house, man. Check it in. DJ Sweet D's in the house. We got Joanna Pena saying hello to everybody. We got David Vela says right here. He says hello, Hen Dog and Los Volcanes.
Hello. Saludos to everybody that's online with us. Pleasure that you guys can join us tonight.
So, man, you got the band, you got the lead singer, and you got the producer in the house. A la máquina, la máquina. You got your son. So, what is it like being able to share the stage with your pops, man?
It's fun. It's fun to kind of bring a new the new generation up to this old guy over here and try to keep him young as long as I can.
And what has he showed you, or has he mentored you? What has he taught you in his lifespan?
Oh, I mean everything about the music business. He's taught me the ins and outs, the business side of it, the creative side of it. I mean, he's the one who introduced me to Tejano music to start with. So everything you can think of, he's shown me.
And
Tell us,
what all do you do for the band? Do you just only just mix and master? What else? What all do you do?
I'm actually the drummer of the band too. So
A la máquina. So let me ask you this, man. So how do you coordinate everything, man? I mean, I know it's got to be pretty hard, right?
yeah, it takes a lot of work, and sometimes it comes down to a one man show down here. But no, it's fun, and it lets me get my creative juices out, and I love it. So
And Sarah, you're the lead singer of Los Volcanes. So how did you come to the band? How did they find Sweet Sarah to come be the lead vocalist?
I was in the band 2004 to begin with, I think. It was about 2004, and I was with them for a few years, and then went back to school and raised some children, and then I was like, oh my gosh, it's time for me again. And so they let me back in the band.
Oh, that's great, right?
Yeah, and then now we're kind of transitioning where like I'm starting to maybe do more songs and be the lead singer. So I'm able to pursue my passion yet again.
what do y'all see? How do y'all see? How did y'all get started from the very beginning? What made y'all start a band?
Well, you're going back way back. So I'm originally from Brownsville, Texas. So we're from the Valley. My folks were born and raised right there in Brownsville. So they were in the 1960s. They were dance promoters. So they would hire the likes of Rubén Bella,
Wow.
Roberto Perez, Tony de la Rosa. These are all the bands and the icons that I grew up listening to.
Wow.
So that is where my roots were in the beginning, and listening to this type of music, because whenever they would make dances, of course, I was a small child at the time, and I would beg my dad to take me to the dances because I wanted to go see the bands perform. So I got to take advantage of that situation back then. And then my dad was an aircraft mechanic back in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. And my dad, there was a company called ISIS Corporation out of Harlingen, Texas, that was back then. Well, lo and behold, you guys probably know the fact that up here in Seattle, there's a pretty big aircraft company up here. And they bought out the ISIS Corporation in Harlingen. And lo and behold, my father got transferred up here to Seattle to be an aircraft mechanic back in the 70s. So there we go. All our, we were the Brady Bunch, including my sibling. There was 3 girls and 3 boys, and for we were really young. I want to say 4 or 5 years old when we moved up here, and my father started working for Boeing, aircraft mechanic, and we've been up here ever since. So what happened was basically through my early or late, I want to say 10, 11 years old, I would be sitting in with bands up here in Seattle. Of course, you're getting the Ruben Bellas up here. You're getting the Gilberto Perez's are coming through here. You're getting the Tony de la Rosa's coming up here. They're all touring through here, and we're actually able to see these bands up here now perform. So what happened was basically my father got off one day and told me and said, it's time for you to start making your own thing. So this was late 70s. I was about, I would say 12, 13 years old. And by the time the 1980s came, I had my own band. I had built my own band here. And in the 1980s, I don't know if you guys recall, but the Mount St. Helens situation up here where the volcano exploded. So now I got my name for the band. So we became Los Volcanes in 1980. A couple of years after that, started making demos with what we call El Padrino with Gilberto Perez. I'm sure you guys are familiar with him. Legendary icon. He was based out of Mercedes. He was good. He was compadres of my folks. And he let us borrow his studio a couple of times. We went down there and made some demos, and lo and behold, one of those demos I sent to Hacienda Records. It was about late 80s, early 81, and lo and behold, we got picked up.
Wow.
So we got picked up by them. Roland Garcia, que paz descanse. Roland was the president owner of Hacienda Records. Of course, Rick was the vice president at that time. And lo and behold, we got signed by them, and here we are. Now we're starting to go to Corpus Christi. Hen Dog, like you were saying earlier, well, have we been to Corpus? Yeah, we went to Corpus lots of times. We spent a lot of time in Corpus in the 80s, especially. But nowadays, you know how technology has come into play, and we've got our own studio here in Seattle. Sean does a real good job of producing our music, coming up with the ideas of our music and going forward and changing it. So with the introduction of Sarah back in the band, there's a lot of ideas that we're going to be experimenting within the next couple of years.
Well, thank you for that explanation.
I'm sure you guys have seen our latest. You're welcome, and I'm sure you guys have seen the latest video. I'm sure Hen Dog's going to be playing that. But so we were fortunate enough to go to the Tejano Fanfare this year, and while we were down there this past March, we actually made our latest video of our latest release, which is Yo No Te Pido Perdón.
Let me see if I can get it queued up real quick, guys. I'm over here.
Is there any specific genre or type of music that you want to do in the future?
Well, I'll leave that up to Sean to answer that question.
We're not opposed to experimenting with anything, really. I mean, always with having the base of being Tejano music, but I mean that you can. I feel like Tejano music incorporates all kinds of stuff: rock, country, Mexican, mariachi, all that stuff. So we're pretty open-minded as far as that.
How do you stay inspired and motivated to create new music?
That's a good question. I think just the challenge of doing something new, or maybe doing something we haven't done before, or maybe pushing the band to do things that we haven't necessarily done before. That's where I enjoy the challenge of that. I don't know if you guys want to answer that.
About the same, something unique, something different. If we can, the challenge is to be different and the challenge
Sometimes
is
those
always
challenges can
to do something better than your last project. So that's always the challenge. But I think that we're going to focus on that a lot with Sarah back in the band. I think we've got a lot of new ideas with her as the lead vocalist. So we're going to be doing some really cool projects along with this one that she just did. This song has
That's
really been
amazing.
doing
You have
well
a
for
great
us.
voice, Sarah.
Thanks.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm going to take a short commercial break, and I'm going to play the brand new single, man. It goes a little bit of something like this. A la máquina. Check it out. CJ Records. That's right, man. Los volcanes de Eddie Rodriguez. You know, te pido perdón for those who said this brand new single. Requested on all the platforms, especially right here at MusicArenaTalkShow.com.
He tratado, he dado mi ser sin
Talented vocalist Sarah Fonseca. Un grito.
Que fuera en mano todos mis esfuerzos. Aprendiste a valorar todo lo que ofrecí. Me otorgaste la oportunidad de ser libre yo de ti. Resucitar lo que tú enterraste. Respirar con inspiración. A mis alas fuiste el viento para despegar. Yo no te pido perdón por resistir tu engaño y encontrarme otra vez, por regresar a ser feliz como las días del ayer. Me perdí la minucia de tu amor. Yo no te pido perdón. Yo sé el valor que aporto en esta tierra donde estoy. Ya sé, no te acuerdo con lo que ahora hago hoy. Esa puerta ahora cierro yo. Yo no te pido perdón.
I have ponchos.
That's right. You're welcome to Eddie Rodriguez. Los despido. Perdón por los digo. Mi video también.
No aprendiste a valorar todo lo que ofrecí.
Una más.
Me otorgaste la oportunidad de ser libre yo de ti. Resucitar lo que tú enteraste. Respirar con inspiración. A mis alas fuiste el viento para despegar. Yo no te pido perdón por resistir tu engaño y encontrarme otra vez, por regresar a ser feliz como las días del ayer. Me perdí la minucia de tu amor. Yo no te pido perdón. Yo sé el valor que aporto en esta tierra donde estoy.
That was the drummer on the drums, man.
Ya te acuerdo con lo que ahora hago hoy. Esa puerta ahora cierro yo. Yo no te pido perdón.
This is a very beautiful
Si
song.
yo no te pido
It sure is.
perdón por
How
resistir
did
tu
the inspiration
engaño
come
y
about for this song?
encontrarme otra vez.
Well, the song was actually written by a friend of ours named Mario Coronado. He wrote the song. He originally wrote it for a male, but when we heard it, I especially thought, why don't we try to have Sarah sing this song? And so we messed around with it, changed the key of it, and then once she sang it, we knew that it was it was a good song.
It's a
If you,
great song.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Yes. I have a question. If you can collab with somebody, who would it be?
Oh my goodness, Dad, I'll let you go first.
Wow, collab with somebody. That's it's pretty popular nowadays. As everybody's collabing with everybody else. I don't anybody offhand. I collab with Sarah on projects, but the fact of it is collabing with someone else. Maybe Clady someday, and I will. Since we're on the same record label, we may do a project together.
Yeah, one.
I'll defer to you.
Of course, you'll defer to me. Uh, that's a good question. I'm a huge Mafia fan, so
Oh yeah.
Oscar from Mafia would be awesome. Also, I'm a huge Intocable fan, so Ricky Munoz would also be pretty awesome. Yeah, I haven't really thought
Nice.
about that, but either one of those guys would be a dream come true for me for sure.
And what about you, Sarah?
Yeah, you
Dang it! I thought I was gonna get out. Ah. Any
Not that
major
lucky today.
artist- I know. Any major artist, honestly. I mean, there's so many talented people out there, but like the Palominos, or I was preparing for this interview in my mind and thinking you're gonna ask me how did I get into music, but I just remember like now I had to like think way back, and the only way I really heard Tejano music was through Johnny Canales. Um, and I think one of the first bands I heard my dad showed me was Sonora Dinamita on there. But one of the first bands that my dad showed me in terms of Tejano music was the Palominos.
So, Sarah, if you don't mind me asking, so how did you really get started into music? I know this
I
this
was
is
about
this is
to
all you
ask the
guys'
same
show, so
thing.
we like to.
How did I get started into music?
Yes, did anybody in your family musicians, or how did that all start?
Actually, I had a Theo that had his own band, and
Wow.
for some reason I never got involved with him. Like occasionally I would go in and do a duet with him, but I never thought to ask him, can I join your band? And so I'm from Eastern Washington originally, which is like 2.5 hours away from Seattle. And I saw a band on stage probably when I was like 18. I mean, I did stuff like in high school, like choir, or I sang in the church choir here and there. But then I saw a band on stage and I was like, hey, are you guys looking for a girl? Because mostly from all the stuff I've seen, it's male dominated, right? And I was like, ooh, let me just get the guts and ask these guys if they're looking for a girl. And they actually were. So they took me on. And I sang, one or two songs, didn't get to sing as much as I wanted to. And then I don't know, like a couple years later, I moved to Seattle, and the bass player that I joined in the band, the first band with, actually played. He moved up this way too, and he played for Eddie, and so he introduced me to the band, to the guys, and then I think by luck, by a little bit of guts and a little bit of luck, and then Eddie and Sean took me on. So, and here I am.
I think that's the first step with that's
Mhm.
So, Sean, on your behalf, man, what is it like being able to perform with this talented band, man? I've had your dad on the show a few months back, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since I had your pops on the show. And then when I see the new single come out, man, I said, you know what? I got to bring these guys on. But I said I want to get a hold of your pops to bring the whole gang on. And of course, we can only get so many on, right? I mean, because some people live in different towns, different cities, and
Yeah.
they got other projects going on, not other than being in the band. So you, Sean, what is it like being able to be a part of this amazing, amazing, talented band that's striving for their goals?
Well, obviously, it's really fun for me. The live performances is really what I look forward to the most. It's fun to be creative and create things in the studio, but that's to me that's more work than anything else. And then once you get to go play live, that's what's fun for me. Like that's where I get to kind of just have fun and display what we got as a band. And it's always been really rewarding when we go do that, and I have a lot of fun, and I enjoy all these guys. We're all characters, so there's a lot of fun times had in between performances too. But yeah, being on stage is my favorite part of the whole thing.
What is your favorite location of presentations? I know everybody has one, so what would be your favorite location where you go sing and just give your heart out?
You want me to go first? Eastern Washington for us because Eastern Washington to me feels like Texas. It's like
Mhm.
our version of Texas up here in the Northwest. And there's a lot of people who are from Texas over
Wow,
there,
nice.
so that's the closest that we got up here to that. So when we go play over there, I love playing over there.
It sounds
I'll
like an
second
amazing
that.
place, actually.
Eastern Washington, yeah, it's. I'll second Sean's answer. That's all my family is out there, and so they have all of them haven't come to see me yet. So I hope we get the chance. Well, we will get the chance again. We're gonna manifest it, and yeah, just to see friendly, familiar faces and people that enjoy this type of music.
For
Thank
me,
you for
it's
your
going back
answer.
home. For me, it's going back home to the valley, playing, you know, Brownsville, Texas, Harlingen, Mercedes, all that corridor. Of course, San Antonio is fun as well. Not to say anything bad about San Antonio, but it's a little different for me. I like the hardcore conjunto. I've always have. That's what I grew up with playing. So going back and seeing those groups, I noticed the Delta Boys are online hearing us today. And so those Delta Boys really love their music as well. But that's the kind of music that really is hardcore for me. And conjunto is always going to be my thing. I guess I got to say that. But yeah, going back to the Valley, we've been to the Valley. Been to many conjunto awards. Um, those conjunto awards back from the Valley, and they're doing them all over the place now. But we've been fortunate enough to win some awards from the conjunto awards and bring them back to Seattle. So we're fortunate to have been able to play all that corridor in the Valley.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
No, we appreciate everything y'all do, Eddie. I mean, I know it's not easy, man, being a musician and being able to organize everything, man, set up the gigs and travel and I mean, the thing is, man, you guys are putting out the music out there for the right folks, man. And I mean, I like this new single, man. When I first heard it, man, I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's really done well for the band. Of course, with Sarah's vocals and has really inspired us to do different things, and we're looking forward to the future with her as our lead vocalist. So more to come. More to come. We're working on
Yay.
some new stuff right now in the studio as we speak. And back of us, like I said, we're in the Volcan Studios right now. So we've got a lot of stuff that we plan to do in the near future. I know Sean's anxious to get those new projects done so that we can put them out there for folks to see. There will be a video probably, uh, another video with the next release. We're hoping to get our new video guy. Um, by the way, I want Hand Dog, before I forget, saludos para Sunny Sauceda. He's a good friend of mine. He's worked up here with us before.
Exactly.
He's the one that put the video thing together for me with Lupus Moya's help. And that is who's really been. I've been fortunate enough to make a lot of friends in this business, and I've just been fortunate and lucky and blessed to have a lot of friends. Sonny's one of them that has always tried to help me from afar and get
Exactly.
us on the right road to making videos and stuff like that. But the next video, I hope that Lupe is going to make the trip up here, and we're going to make videos here in Seattle.
Wow, man. Congratulations, man, on that. So Eddie, the last time we talked, man, has been a few months ago, man. So how has our first time around helped you out, man?
I want to say, Hendoga, that all your shows have been really important for the bands, and I want to say plural, the bands out there, because we need more shows like this. And Hendog, you've done a great job of backing some of us, and fortunate enough to meet you and for you to go out and produce us as far as promoting us through your program here. It counts so much for these shows to be alive. As you well know, Hendog, we don't have the radio stations that we once had. So we count on these programs to put our music out there, and this is the only way our music stays alive. So that's the name of the game, is keeping this music alive, and through your program and various other programs that we've been on. Hey, I can't say thank you enough for you for that.
No, we appreciate all the artists, man, that take their time out of their busy schedule to come on and sit and chat with us for an hour, 2 hours, 10 hours, even 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I know going back, man, when I was on a radio station, I had the opportunity, man, to interview Joe Bravo before his passing, and it's only like a 5 second or maybe 10 second time that I had with him, or I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating, man. I think it was maybe like 5 minutes. He was very busy trying to organize his own event, and but just the quality time that I had to have and share that on the phone, man, is an honor in itself. But and I think to all the artists that take their time to missing a meal, because I mean some of these artists, man, are in the studio, they're practicing, they're getting ready for their weekend or for whatever event they got going on for that weekend, and they're trying to practice, and then they're like, oh shoot, we got an interview tonight, so then they stop practice just to be on the show. So we thank all the artists for that.
Yeah, and that's great that you take the time to do your show here and putting out all our material, helping the bands out. And before I forget, so we're not the only the Volcanes are not the only bands that have explored this genre of music up here. So let me mention a couple of other ones before I get in trouble. uh, Los Rangeles. Roberto Rangel, it was a good mentor for me back when I was a young boy. I started out playing bajo sexto with him, which is my main instrument, even though I play the accordion now. But Roberto, Los Guzmanes, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Joel Guzman, and his family is all up here in Sunnyside, Washington. So saludos para ellos. There's so many other those Machilares. All of these bands are up here as well, trying to do the same thing and trying to get their music played. And so, un saludo para todos the comrades up here that we have that play this genre of music.
That's a lot of bands right there, brother.
Yeah, we're
I
looking
mean, this
forward though,
genre is very
Hendog.
important, and
One day, go ahead, go ahead.
this genre is very important. I teach, and I believe that in the music, it takes a village to make a lot of things happen.
Yes, it most certainly does. And the only way to keep this music alive, again, is through programs like this that keep putting our music out there. And so my thanks to your program.
No, anytime, anytime. No, we take the time just like everybody else, man. And the thing is, Eddie, is we just want to branch out to everybody, man, and give everybody a platform to shine and showcase their music and videos, and hopefully they come to us, man. Hopefully they contact the 1-800 number to the New Mexico Radio Talk Show, or they go to the website and contact us for live interviews or live events, man. We love helping people out. That's what we do.
Right on.
And Sarah, I got a question for you, girlfriend. I know I haven't had you on the show, but we're gonna interview you today. Um,
Okay.
you're like, hey, I woke it up. No, just kidding. No, no. In this experience, man, being with the band, have you ever thought about branching out on your own, or do you want to be a part of the band, or how did you want to do that?
Branching out on my own.
Because I know it gets tough, being with the band and you want to create your own band and stuff like that. I mean, and I know they've gave you some advice, and I mean, you're not always wanting to. You're willing to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll say being with these guys, it's been really tough. Just kidding. No. I honestly, they give me all the creative freedom that I'm looking for. I like being in a group. Uh, I've never really thought about it. I feel like if I was to branch out, I might just have to quit like my career completely and move to Texas and try to be a solo thing.
Exactly.
But I'm just comfortable with these guys. We have a great time. And like I said, like now that I'm able to sing more, they're like they've opened the doors for me to do whatever. And Sean and I throw ideas back and forth. I'm like, Sean, I want to try this on. I don't think that's a good idea. And I'm like, okay, well, how about this one? He's like, I think we could make that one work. So it's like we have a really good working relationship, and I just feel like I'm at home, and I can grow just as much here as I could anywhere else. I'm quite comfy where I am, and we just want to get out there and do the gigs and show the people our music and our talents. Just share it with everyone. So yeah.
Well,
And it
you guys are
is
doing
true
amazing.
that the band
You guys are doing-
it is true that the band becomes your family. If you guys don't feel like
Yeah.
family, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And whenever it does work, it's great.
Yeah. And so when I throw out these one-liners and they just are like quiet, like what I just said about like I don't have a good time with them, they're like, what? And I'm like, just kidding. So yeah, I think we all just we have a really good time together. Like all the guys took off. I went with David Olivares, the Bajo player, because we live up north. So we had a gig this past
Okay.
weekend in Independence, Oregon, but we got rained out because
But it's
the weather was crazy. Anyway, well, but anyway, so they all got there like hours ahead of us. And
Exactly.
Dog, you think you're running late? Well, then maybe you put me to shame because I'm always the one who's running late.
So I take it that Eddie and Sean wait up on you for the gigs, or what? Or like, hey, is Sarah showing up or not?
They know I'm coming, and I've been pretty good about being on time this time around. And it's I don't do it on purpose. Anyway, but so all the guys like the David, Eddie, and Sean were there, and then we have two Davids in the band, David Chidas and David Olivares. Anyway, they were already there, and me and David Olivares were showing up later. But then we get there, and David's like, "Where have you been?" And so it's like, I got your drinks ready. Let's go. Let's listen to this music. And so our family was just there waiting for like the rest of the family to get there. And I really think we have a great time together.
No. The
so
thing
let me
is,
ask
man,
something. Who's the prankster in the band?
Who's the what?
The prankster.
Prankster.
Oh,
Who's the prankster in the band? There's always one.
hmm.
I would have to say Chidas.
David Chidas, or maybe me
Yeah,
actually.
sometimes Sean. So there's two of them in this band.
Oh, so it's two.
But-
Okay. Sounds like fun.
We're always laughing.
Yes,
Mhm.
trying to have a good time.
And that's a good thing.
and that's what it takes, man, to make a band, man. Is everybody have fun? I mean, yeah, there's times to be serious when it's practice time and being on stage, but I mean, being on those long roads, man, for like even like we were coming back from San Antonio this past weekend, man. We got in late last night, and well, late last night is only 11 o'clock my time, and that's 12 o'clock Texas. All right. Um, but just driving those long roads, man. I mean, especially in the dark, man. You're like, what are you doing, man? I mean, I mean, I think we pulled a Rem Herrera. I've had him on an interview before, and it was pretty interesting interviewing him because I mean, him being a musician, you would think, I mean, when you're cruising or driving, you're listening to all this, different style of music, man. Doesn't matter if it's country or Tejano or whatever you're listening to. But I think we put a Rem Herrera for like 4 or 5, 4 to 5 hours, man. We just put it on no music, man, and just cruised on way home. I mean, yeah, it's boring sometimes, but I think even my mom caught me singing half the way home. But that's things you got to do as artists, man. I mean, these roads, I mean, they're long, and that's what's cool about a band. When you got a 12 band, or I mean, you got one of those big vans, man. You got one of those things, and you had to create, little jokes and little pranks, and yet one has to be the oddball in the bunch.
So
Exactly.
confess, who
Like,
steals the chips?
Steals the
ay, ay,
chips.
ay.
Who steals the
Oh,
chips or the munchies?
Oh, the chips.
Yeah.
probably David Chidas still.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Between the two Davids, I think they probably
Wow.
are the ones that are always stealing the chips.
The
Funny
pranksters and the
story for
chips.
you.
Okay.
Funny story for you, Hand Dog. When Sarah came to the band originally, um, I was kind of leery about having a female in the band because we travel in a bus. So when we go in the bus, we're all together, and some of us, uh, have a tendency not to wear full clothes, not to be fully clothed inside the bus sometimes. So I thought to myself, I said to Sean, okay, now you're going to have to watch yourself. Yeah,
It
because
wasn't me who was half naked.
but there's other bit that say it was Sean, but I was saying now we're going to have to watch ourselves because there's a girl in the band, so we're going to have to make sure that we're dressed appropriately for that person to be in the bus with us. Well, lo and behold, that's when we first met Sarah. But Sarah's become just another one of the guys. She messes with us just like we mess with her, and she's a lot of fun. So it was the right move, and I've always said that things happen for a reason. She's back in this band for a reason. Uh,
Exactly.
there must be something that we need to still do together as a band, and believe me, we're going to do it.
Well, that's right, man. And Eddie, do you got one of those fancy motor coaches, or do you got one of those E350 kind of type buses?
Well, so I've been talking to Sean about that because our latest bus is we drive around in a Prevo. So it's a nice rig. It's a bus. It's a tour bus, and we've been blessed to have one because back in the day, it's hard to have a rig like that. It's very expensive. The upkeep is very expensive. But yeah, I've been looking at those rigs that you're talking about too. Those Mercedes, tall vans. It seems like even maybe I can come on here and plead that we need a van like that, like other people have done. Won't mention any names. I won't mention any names. But anyway, love you, Lucky. Anyway, the looking, we've been looking at competing, that as far as that, but nothing beats a Prevost. Let's be honest. That's the Cadillac of entertainer coaches. We've been fortunate enough to be able to have one, and she's sitting inside the garage right now, waiting for the next adventure. I'm sure.
So you guys got
When is
any
your next
upcoming
adventure?
shows?
Yeah, we got a private gig coming up this weekend, Hen Dog.
Wow.
And then next week we're going back to Oregon. We're going to Salem for the Salem
Oregon State Fair.
Oregon State Fair in Salem.
Wow.
We'll be there, and we're probably headed back to Eastern Washington. Just don't have the definite dates yet.
Will you be coming to
That sounds like fun.
Texas?
Yes, it is fun. I want to go to Texas more often, and yes, we do get asked to come down there. But I'm going to work with Hen Dog this time, and we're going to be talking about how to get the band to go to Texas again, and maybe he'll give us a hand and promoting and helping us there. So we're looking forward to it.
A la máquina. See, I already got a task already after the show. A la máquina. Hey, Eddie, everybody asks me, man, Hen Dog, how do you do it, man? How do you do 4 shows and then get on the road, go to San Antonio, come back, do an award show and party in San Antonio, come back, go to work, and come and do a podcast the next day? Well, it's just something I love to do, man. And of course, there's times where I'm tired, pero I'm here.
Yeah.
Um, loving what I love to do best is be on the show, and as always, man, loving to be a promoter, taking on a new role, man. Taking on that role, man, is not easy. But I'm here to do it, here to push everybody as much as I can, and the more rest I get, the more rest I get. But I'm not ready to rest, man. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. My mom's like, son, you need a rest, son. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
You're
But when I'm in the
young, that's
hospital, I'll
why.
be like, yep, I should listen to my mom.
And the thing of it is for us up here is we work up here a good amount of time of the out of the year. Uh,
Exactly.
so going to Texas is a treat for us. So every time any chance we get to go, of course, we're talking right now with some folks about Fiesta next year. We've done the fanfares for a lot of years, and I think that it's time for us to try something else out, maybe a Fiesta um, uh, next the festival for Fiesta next year. So we'll see.
And Eddie, I've been to a fan for numerous times, man, and I could only do the 4 days, man, on La Máquina. Well, I do 6 because by the time I travel to get there, and then I always like to stay an extra day because I go do other things, with my family, or I go do stuff with some of the artists, or I meet them for lunch, dinner, whatever.
Right.
But everybody's like, "Hey, Hen Dog, you need to try the Fiesta." I'm like, "The Fiesta? What is that?" I'm like, La Máquina." They said that's 2 weeks after Fanfare. I'm like, "Oh my."
Yeah.
Well, my job only accommodates for 6 days, which is I'm very lucky. So now to get him to accommodate for 2 weeks, yikes!
Yeah. That might be a little tough, huh?
Right, I'd have to work at the corner and sell myself, man, to make some extra money or something because I'd be without a job.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm like you too, man. Yeah, I love fanfare. Don't get me wrong, man. I love fanfare, but I think it's time for a change, man. To do something, man. If I could do fanfare and I can do fiesta, I ni modo.
That would be all right, wouldn't it? That would be great.
Hey, if I can get somebody
So
to pay
any
for
trips
my,
to El Paso?
I didn't hear her question.
What was that?
Will you be having any trips soon here to El Paso?
We've never been to that part of Texas, so that would be a challenge maybe next year that we can fulfill and go to El Paso. I know there's some casinos there that in El Paso that are pretty. I think they're in El Paso. That
Sunland
are pretty.
Sunland Park Casino, yes.
Yeah, so I've heard about them. So maybe next year that we'll get to go to those places that we have not been to before. So hopefully next year.
I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you.
no, you guys are awesome, Eddie, and I'm proud of all the stuff y'all are doing, man. And this platform, man, is not just only for you guys, man. This is a platform for everybody that's tuned in out there, man. Artists, upcoming artists, bands who've been in the business 20 plus years, 30 plus years. My thing is, man, we have a music show on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I like to get out the music. And I think the Monday night show is called the New Music Monday. So that's
Uh-huh.
when we air out all the new music. Of course, I played on our Wednesday show and my morning lunch day mix show, but we're here to showcase everybody, man. And we thank you to Sean, Sarah, everybody's. You guys are so awesome, man. I hope I get to see you guys soon, man, and be working with you guys and getting you guys out here to not just only to Texas but here to New Mexico. There's a lot of events going on, man. I just got to get in contact with what they got going on and see what their budgets are and stuff like that. But um, we I know I am proud of all the stuff you're doing, Eddie. From the last time I seen you, and
Yeah.
it's nice to see everybody still working. And you guys are busting y'all's tail just like anybody else. And we're here to help you guys, man. That's what this platform is here for. And just like we have Tierra Tejana, I don't, and here's another great question for them tomorrow. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're performing or not. I don't know if they got like a backup band. I don't know. So that's a
Right.
good question to ask them tomorrow, right? But
Right.
I'm bringing them onto the show tomorrow, and that's going to be a big show too. So I mean, we're here to help everybody, man. We like to give help to where it's needed.
Yeah, and a shout out to everybody that's been listening. I see there's people are scrolling to the right on the screen here, and dog. So it looks like saludos to Ramon Lopez. There's a couple of other folks here I can't see because it's so small. And it looks like Esmeralda Rosas. I can't see that. It's really small, but hello to everybody that's listening in. Um, Glad you're tuning into the show tonight. This is a great show to tune into. Like Hen Dog says, that a lot of artists are coming on here to promote their music, and Hen Dog has been great at helping out the artists. So thank you again, Hen Dog, for that. And we continue to do our thing up here in Seattle, Washington. We continue to promote our latest single. Hopefully, Sean is on the hook right now to get another single out pretty soon here. I know Rick Garcia. Saludos para Rick y Hilda. They're down in Harlingen, Texas. So saludos para ellos, our record producers. So looking forward to more and more things.
No, we're
Looks
no, we're
looks
looking
like
forward.
somebody from Salem, Oregon. We're headed out there. Looks like Daniel Dominguez. Saludos, Daniel. We're going to be out there in a couple of weeks at the festival out there in Salem, Oregon. So
What
No,
advice would you give someone that wants to start a music career? What advice would you give them?
well, I think all my comrades here all can vouch for this business is not easy. First of all,
you got that right.
yeah, this is not an easy business. We all know that our Jonder has taken a beating lately.
Oh,
Uh,
easy.
I want to say, a backdoor kind of beating because of the fact that we just don't have the radio stations anymore.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Promote our music. If we had more radio stations, I remember the kakuka days. I remember the KBG TVs down there in the valley. I mean, every day you're hearing this music. It's not
Exactly.
like that no more. It isn't. As much as we hate the fact that we've lost our radio stations that promoted us for so many years. We just don't have that anymore. But this is not an easy business, and especially if you're not in Texas. Now, some of us would say we're lucky we're not there because there's a lot of bands that are barely starting out and they want their turn. Of course, they deserve that. So to say that we don't live in Texas full time, so we're actually fortunate because of the fact that there is a lot of up and coming bands.
Exactly.
Uh, I want to say a lot of females are coming out right now with new music, and more power to them because for the longest time there I felt there wasn't enough female out in the
Exactly.
industry, and now it seems like we have many more female artists out there doing their thing.
No, you're right about that, Eddie. We talked about this the last time we were on the airways, man. But the thing is, man, how quick is it now for Sean or even you guys? They got your guys' own studio, and I mean, when you make the copy of the track, you put it on a disc or put it on an album. I mean, back in the day, they had albums, right?
Yeah.
But when you put it out there, you would have to go to the actual radio station and say, "Hey, can you play this?" Now, Sean, all he has to do is email it to me, and I have it in it. It's in the palm of my hands.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah.
mean, or be a USB drive. I mean, of course, the risk of a USB drive, it gets lost in
Yeah.
UPS mail or in the mailing boxes, right? But the fortunate of having emails, and it's just crazy, man. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm only 29 years old. I mean, I wish I would have lived. I mean, I wish I was back then so I could see what it is from now to then, you know. And it's great hearing stories from you, Eddie, about how things were back then, because things back then were a lot tougher, man. I mean, like, you guys are going to sell him Oregon in a couple of weeks. In order for you guys to get recognized and get noticed in sell him Oregon, you guys would have to go to Oregon now and go promote it at a radio station, at all the stations. It didn't matter if it was country or English. You guys would have to go start promoting that now so you guys can get heard.
Correct.
Now it's Facebook and a couple of phone calls to the Sell Him Oregon people. Say, hey, we're going to be in town, and there's your connect.
Social
Bam,
media.
there
It's
you
all
go.
about social media. You
Exactly.
know, and that's what
It sure
makes
is.
this business so much different now, because you can't depend on the radio stations anymore. Even though this past weekend we were at Independence, and the radio stations that were there, you know, they're supporting us and trying to do their best to get the word out that we're in town.
Exactly.
No, and the thing of it is that I'm here. I'm seeing this comment from Daniel Dominguez back in the '70s. I was just a kid, but yeah, I used to go to the Hillsboro, Oregon National Guard Armory. I remember that hall distinctly because it was the hardest hall probably to set your music in, especially your PA system, because it was so tall. Those armories were terrible for setting your music in, and making your music sound halfway decent. But you know, it is, you know, this is a very hard business, and
Exactly.
but I salute all of the new artists that are trying to keep us this music going. Saludos to everyone that is trying to hold on to this genre and to promote it, and to continue on, because that's what we count on, is for this music to continue.
And that's all I hope for, man, is everybody to continue, man. I mean, I know it's tough, you know. I mean, it's not easy putting out a single. I mean, you could ask Sean himself. I mean, to put it all together, and then, I mean, the thing is, man, when you put on a single or an EPK, man, it's like, okay, you want to make sure it's done right, you know. My thing is, I've always been the one where, you know, you get what you pay for. I mean, you go pay $200 to get it recorded. Well, oops.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yes,
you pay $1,000 to get it recorded and get
Correct.
it done right. Bam. I mean, you did your dues. I mean, yeah, it costs. You know, same thing with this podcast. You know, I mean, yeah, it costs to run it. You know, I mean, microphone alone, $100. I mean, you can go to Hobby Lobby and get a little microphone for $20. I mean, it'll last you a month or two. But I mean, the thing is you get what you pay for, man. And I congratulate Sean on all his hard work, man. I know it's not easy being a producer, being a drummer, and I mean everything you're doing, Sean, for the band, for your dad, for La Onda, man. Keep it up, man. My hats off to you, because it's not easy. And people are like, oh no, I'm not gonna go to Sean Rodriguez. He's too expensive. No, it's quality work. Bottom line, quality work. Same thing with flyers. Quality work. You get what you pay for.
yes.
Thank you.
A good point,
Sure
Head
is.
Dog, because there's a lot of folks out there that are experiencing that. You know, there's studios. They're a dime a dozen now. Uh,
Exactly.
Everybody's doing it, and the bad thing is you get yourself in a studio that really they don't know what's going on. They charge you money on top of it, and they really are not going to produce quality product, and that's always a scary thing. I've been fortunate enough that you know, we have our own studio here. We're able to work with the best technology. Sean has gone to school to learn how to use that technology, and he puts everything together for us here in the studio. So we're fortunate. I know Rick Garcia. He can't say enough about Sean, and they cooperate really well together between both of them.
That's
Uh,
awesome, man.
and come up with some good ideas for the band. It's been a while since we've been out there with new product and new ideas, and I think with Sarah leading us with the vocals, I think we got a ways to go.
No, Sean, Sarah, Eddie, we want to say thank you guys, man, on behalf of the New Mexico Radio Talk Show crew, man, and looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Looking forward to working with you guys, and if there's anything, Sean, Sarah, you guys add us on Facebook, add any of our co-hosts or myself on social medias, and I know it's tough for you guys to tune into our shows because I know the time difference and studio time and whatever you guys are working on, but it's awesome to see these artists and you guys tune into our shows, and it's awesome to follow our artists, and see what and keep up to date what our artists are doing in today's world. So be sure to hit the add button, add us, and follow us on all our social medias. This will be up on Roku soon, and then it'll be on YouTube as well. It's already on YouTube right now. So
Right on.
we're live on Roku. That's what you see in the back screen over there. We're on Roku TV. So when I'm done, I upload it to Roku, so that way everybody who has Roku TV, they can go back and check it out on the replay center on Roku TV. But Sean, Sarah, Eddie, Los Volcanes, Seattle, Washington, behalf of myself, guys, I want to say thank y'all so much. Is there any last words you guys would like to say to your family, producers, managers, PR, and all that? Anything you guys would like to say before we head out?
Well, just another saludo para toda la gente aquí de Eastern Washington, Oregon, Idaho. This is where we mostly work at. So, uh, we can't say enough about the support that we get up here. But I'll leave the rest of it to the Sarah and Sean.
You go.
Oh, jeez, just shout out to all the people and all the fans that continue to follow us and support us, and they're liking what we're doing. And I know that we've made a lot of changes to what the band has done historically, but just stick with us because I think you'll be excited in all the stuff that's coming.
I just want to say thank you guys for your time. Where did the hour go? Honestly, I've enjoyed myself. I think this guy over here is enjoying it. It's not I guess an hour can fly by when you just, that's how you do everything, right? Because you work and then you do your shows back and forth, and then you do this. So it's not work if you enjoy it and you love it. So I've enjoyed.
You got that right, Sarah, and that's totally correct on that because it, that's what we love to do is get our guests or our artists that are in the house, man. We want them to feel comfortable. We want them to come back every single time for video release, single release, album, EPK, whatever they got going on, an event. Um, I know Eddie will be in touch with me right before the event. So Eddie, be right in touch with me, man, and we'll release that event out here, man, on the show with all you guys, man. The whole
Appreciate
people here. We'll help you guys out. That's something we do also too. And it doesn't matter on what day, man. It could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be 10 minutes. I mean, it's just getting the word out there to the fans, right? But this is something we love to do, Sarah. We love to put out the shows out there for the fans, and we want people to engage. But the most importantly, we want everybody to come back. We want to make sure everybody has a good time, and it looks like Eddie has a good time on the show. So before we head out, man, I
I
do
would
want to
like
say
to
thank
say
you all so much.
I really want to wish you the best of luck in everything you do, and you have an amazing voice, Sarah. Girl power.
Yeah, thank you. And wait, hen dog, wait, I wasn't done.
Oh, la máquina. All right, all right, Sarah. That's going to be called the Sarah Show or what?
No,
Take over,
thank you
take
guys
over,
for
Sarah.
letting
Take over.
for usually I'm pretty nervous and I didn't even have a drink and I'm feeling okay, so I don't know. But no, I just want to say saludos all the Fonsecas. Thank you to all the fans, and then I have a whole bunch of family in Texas, like the Brownsville area, and then in Divine and San Antonio. But thank you for giving us this platform so that people can get to know us. I don't know, I think it's kind of cool to, like, when you go and you listen to music, but then you're like, oh my god, these people, like, just bands in general, and you're like, whoa, like, they're so cool. They're, you get to know them on a different level besides just the music that they're putting out. So thank you to all of you guys, and Thank you for letting us be here with you guys tonight.
And
Well,
exactly, yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Well, well, thank you for giving us the time to interview y'all and get to know y'all a little bit more. And that's what we're here for. Y'all are welcome to always come back. Just get with Hen Dog, and I hope I see y'all in Corpus soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For sure.
for sure.
Yeah, just hit us all up, man. We're on all over, man. They're part of our crew, man. And no, I hope you guys had a good time. And of course, I know Eddie knows this before we head out. The thing is, mind you, before the social media, right, or before this, you had to go to the studio, the FMAM station, to go get interviewed for 2 hours. So you're driving 15 to 21 hours to go do a 2 hour interview. That's a lot, man. I mean, especially if you didn't have an event that scheduled up in that week or that weekend. Estaba cabrón, man. I mean, I could feel these artists back in the day, man. I'm like, God Almighty. But now when you go to these cities, man, you already got the gig. Now you can go do the in studio interviews. So once again, Eddie, Sean, Sarah, thank y'all guys so much, man. Hopefully we did an all right job. Hopefully we didn't talk y'all's heads off, man.
No, no,
you're
no,
good.
no. Everything
I
was
had
good.
fun. It was fun being with you guys today.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks to all of you.
Thank y'all so much.
Bye.
He tratado, he dado mi ser sin arrepentimiento. Oh, nunca pensé que fuera en mano todos mis esfuerzos. No. Aprendiste a valorar todo lo que ofrecí. Me otorgaste la oportunidad de ser libre yo de ti. Resucitar lo que tú enterraste.